Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 28 of this the 2020-2021 Premier League season. Now just a quick shout out and a massive thank you to friend of the show, always watches the live streams on the Saturday morning, Ian Lovesy, man, the myth, the legend.
Have a look at that.
I think he bought this sign for us, so I had that earlier in the week off him, so massive thank you to Mr. Lovesy for that sign. But before, as we said, we make this week's predictions, let's have a quick look back at how well we all got on in week 27.
So last time around I had an average week, had 8 points with one perfect result, that being West Brom to draw with Newcastle 0-0. I'm sorry if you predicted anything else in that game, you might want to sort that out, guys.
Yeah, also Nathan, I come away with 8 points, one perfect score, but my perfect score was the away win for Leicester, a 2-1 against Brighton. Representing the viewers last week was Farius 77, and Farius came away with 9 points, one more than yourself and I, Nathan, and Farius had two perfect scores, being the West Brom Newcastle 0-0 draw and the Chelsea 2-0 victory over the Toffees of Everton. Top scorer of the week, though, with a magnificent 15 points and 4 perfect scores, was Footy Chat. So congratulations to you, Footy Chats. Looking at the updated table now, we have Mahmoud Conte moving just ahead by 4 points now on 194 points from yours truly with 190 points. Nathan, you're down in 20th position on 166 points. Representing viewers last week was Ferris 77. Also on 166 points. Footy Chats there on 180 points, moving up to a 9th position. Other notables, the likes of Francis Bellardi in 6th position, the Dugout Football Channel, friend of the show, Doug, of course, in 7th position now. Got the likes of Hassan Ali, Owen O'Foster, etc, etc, etc. So if I just move slowly down the table, see if you can spot yourself amongst everybody else. Now this goes all the way down. Is the Dalek WHUFC, friend of the show, of course, all the way down to 242. So that's the table. Let's see if we can all catch up with Ramond this week in week 28.
Okay, so first up we have the 8 o'clock on Friday night between Newcastle and Aston Villa. Both teams drew 0-0 last time around to Wolves and West Brom. What a boring game that was for Newcastle. To be fair, that was a good draw for likes of Wolves and stuff, but looking at this one, Newcastle just been stumbling around here and there. 1 win in 6, getting 0-0. They're grinding out 0-0 draws. Steve Bruce doing whatever he can to try and stay out of those relegation spots. I mean, they are only 1 place ahead of Fulham now, or 1 point I should say. Yeah, I fully expect Villa to turn things around and get back onto form with this one. They are up and down all the time, but it's crying out for a Villa win at some point. I think they're going to dominate, and I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0 to Villa.
3-0 Villa.
Okay, I don't think Newcastle are going to let in 3 goals in this one. I do think Aston Villa will win. There's a possibility of Grealish returning in this game. Newcastle toothless up front. I think they might be missing some of their strikers, etc. Attacking options. Martinez in the Villa goal has been excellent all season, but particularly in the last few weeks as well. There's not going to be many goals in this one, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory to the Villains. I don't think I can't see Newcastle scoring in this one. Next up, we've got the first of the Saturday fixtures between Leeds United and Chelsea. Now, earlier in the season, Chelsea won this fixture 3-1 at Stamford Bridge. Havertz last week looking absolutely stupendous in front of goals. I think he had a goal disallowed and etc. But he was instrumental in that victory against Everton, in that 2-0 victory. So I think Leeds will score. Bamford, he had 2 great opportunities in that fixture against West Ham, which he really should have grabbed at least 1 goal. So I think Leeds will get one goal in this one, but overall I think Chelsea will come through, and I can see them winning this one 2-1.
Interesting. I actually think it's going to be more for Chelsea because they've been free flowing at the moment, scoring goals. Leeds just stumbling there in 11th place, only 2 wins in 6, losing their last 2, of course. That defence just doesn't exist at the moment, so I'm going to go 4-1 Chelsea, another high scoring game. Next up we have a hapless Crystal Palace, just existing really under Roy Hodgson, probably hibernate until next season. And they're coming up against an inconsistent West Brom side who are probably going to go down. Last time around, Crystal Palace looked terrible under Tottenham. Got 2 draws before that, somehow against Man United and then against Fulham, but then again Fulham draw all the time. To be honest, this is just calling out for another 0-0 draw, isn't it? I'm going 0-0.
Yeah, can't see many goals in this one. Zaha is back and he did look dangerous against Spurs, although ultimately Spurs give them a bit of a stuffing in the end, didn't they? But narrow. I can't see West Brom scoring in this one. Okay, they've only lost once in their last 5 fixtures, but they've only scored 1 goal in their last 4, so I think Crystal Palace will just sneak this one 1-0. Next up, we got the 5:30 kickoff between Everton and Burnley. This is live on Sky. I think Rodriguez was missing from the last fixture against Chelsea, where they got defeated 2-0. Burnley currently find themselves in 15th position, only 1 loss in their last 6 fixtures, drawing the last 2 matches, both at home against Arsenal and Leicester respectively. Going away to Everton. Now Everton, of course, currently in 6th position, losing 3 and winning 3 of their last 6 fixtures. Difficult one to predict. I think there's only going to be a goal in this either way. Richarlison's looking dangerous. Calvert-Lewin due a goal, so I think with Rodriguez returning to this fixture, I think the Toffees are going to edge this one 2-1.
Interesting. I've actually gone exactly the same as you. I'm going for 2-1 as well. Burnley doing okay, just drawing a lot at the moment, but with Everton up and down at the moment, they are beating the teams around them, of course, so I'm going to go for 2-1 to the Toffees. Next up, we've got Fulham Man City at 8 o'clock on Saturday. What a time that is for football. Surely this has got to be another Man City win. They're going to be bouncing back like mad after that Man United loss, and then they destroyed Southampton 5-2 tonight. So close with that prediction last week for me. I'm going to go 3-0. 3-0.
Yeah, I think Manchester City will win this one. I don't think they're going to win by that massive scoreline. Particularly Fulham are going to be so buoyant after that victory at Anfield over Liverpool. Everybody seems to be beating Liverpool at the moment. Liverpool currently in action in the Champions League, and at the time of recording, what is it, 9:15 now?
It's 0-0.
It's 0-0 against RB Leipzig, playing that game in Hungary, of course. Man City, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Mahrez, they look fantastic at the moment. I'm going to go for the repeat scoreline of how they met earlier in the season. I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory to the Citizens. Next up, we got the first of the Sunday fixtures between Southampton and Brighton. Now, Southampton getting a couple of goals against Manchester City, ultimately losing 5-2 earlier this evening. And earlier in the week, they did get a victory over Sheffield United, which was their first victory in, I don't know, at least 5 matches there, but they've only gained 1 victory in their last 6. Southampton coming up against a Brighton team hovering precariously now over the relegation zone. They're on the same number of points as Fulham. Been fantastic, you would say, over the last 10 games, even though they're not winning too many of those fixtures, although you could say that's 3 victories in their last 6. Bit of a derby, this one. Hard to call this one, so I'm going to sit on the fence and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, very difficult this one, but to be honest, I think Brighton are just going to turn up in it. Looking at Southampton with their recent form, it's been absolutely dreadful. 1 win in 6 by the looks of things. Seems to be losing everything. They're not beating the teams around them though. The only team they've beaten really is Sheffield United, losing to the likes of Leeds, Wolves, teams they really need to be beaten at this point. And I think Brighton are going to have too much for them. I'm going to say 3-1.
Yeah, apparently Brighton in front of goals, they're creating lots of chances, just not putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, exactly. And with Southampton's defence at the moment and their injury issues as well, if you constantly look at their bench, very very difficult for them. So 3-1. Next up, we got Leicester versus Sheffield United at 2 o'clock on Sky on Sunday. This should be pretty straightforward, even with the amount of injuries that Leicester have at the moment. Loads of key players out there. Vardy back in the team, would be nice to see him scoring once again. But Sheffield United, they've sort of gone past that stage where they were only narrowly losing at the start of the season, and now they're starting to begin to lose heavy. I mean, looking at some of their recent losses, they lost 3-0 to West Ham, which is quite steep, 2-0 to a poor Southampton, 2-0 to Liverpool, who have been poor as well, and 1-0 to Fulham, which is quite shocking. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester in this one.
I think Leicester will gain victory in this one, but I think it's going to be very, very narrow. It might even be a late goal. I think they've got the likes of James Justin out, Harvey Barnes, Maddison. I think Perez might be out for this one. It's going to be
Perez is out.
Touch and go whether he makes this fixture. Sheffield United, we thought they were going to be a little bit of a resurgence. They've still got a chance, but they're 12 points behind the likes of Fulham and Brighton at the moment. So very difficult for Sheffield United. With the woes that the Foxes, injury woes that the Foxes have got, I think Sheffield United will give them a bit of a game, but ultimately I see the home side coming away with a 2-1 victory in this one. Next, we've got Arsenal against Spurs in the North London derby. Now, Spurs, fantastic in their last match, winning 4-1 against Crystal Palace. Arsenal, I think it was a draw, wasn't it? Away against Burnley. Gareth Bale finally come into the party. It looks like Jose Mourinho resting him, keep bringing him into the fold late after 20 odd games where he'd been on the bench and just having a bit parts. Now he's come to the table. He scored something like 4 goals in 5 or 6 matches now, providing an assist. So they're looking really good going forward. Arsenal, Aubameyang now is getting on a score sheet quite a bit, but in this match, I think Spurs going forward are going to have a little bit too much for Arsenal, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 scoreline, which is bold, but I think Spurs will win this one.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with you. First of all, Gareth Bale's a bluebird. If you haven't already seen the clips, he knows we're the biggest club in Wales. Anyway, back to the North London derby. Can't really see Arsenal winning this one. Just so inconsistent. You just don't know with them really. Stumbling around mid-table and all that, and then Spurs looking superb that Gareth Bale is finally back now and gathering form. They are now up to 7th after winning 3 on the bounce. I think they're going to go up above Everton at some point, and West Ham need to watch their table as well and make sure that they continue to get the form that they have as well. So I'm going to go for 2-1 Spurs. Next up, we have Man United versus West Ham. Man United drawing a lot, only got 2 wins in 6, whereas West Ham are being superb at the moment. No Jesse Lingard in this one, of course, as he is loan tied. Of course, if you don't know what that is.
He's eligible because of his parent club.
Parent club loan tied. So, they might miss out a lot with that one, but this one's shouting out for a draw. It's at Old Trafford and everything, even with no fans in, but it's shouting out for a draw, 1-1.
Yeah, the energy of Lingard will be a miss for West Ham. Manchester United, fantastic victory against their city rivals, Manchester City, in the last fixture. West Ham, brilliant all season, 1 defeat in the last 6, beating Leeds United last time out quite comfortably, even though Bamford should have scored in that fixture. So I think West Ham, full of confidence, going to go away to Old Trafford and carve out a 1-1 draw. And finally, the last match of the week takes place on Monday, and that's between Wolves against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool at home, terrible. Away, not too bad. They're actually, at the moment, actually drawing, as we've said already, with RB Leipzig. Wolves currently in 12th position, only 1 defeat in their last 6
drawing
fixtures,
a lot as well,
which is interesting. They've drawn 3 times in that 6 game spell, and also winning 2 as well. Liverpool, okay, we know about their home form is absolutely terrible, but away from home, I think they won the last time they were away from home, which they did against Sheffield United, but Sheffield United terrible this season. Prior to that, they lost away against Leicester. So where do we go with this? Early in the season, Liverpool easily dispatched.
Definitely.
Wolves, tough one to predict. I can't see Liverpool winning this one, but I can't see Wolves winning it either, so I'm going to go for, it could end up 0-0, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm going for 1-1 draw as well. Now, believe it or not, Liverpool are actually joint bottom of the form table in their last 8 games with Sheffield United, with the likes of West Brom and who else is there? Crystal Palace, well, not so much Crystal Palace, but Newcastle, Burnley, and all those just above them. Absolutely dire at the moment. They're on their 21st centre-back partnership as well. Really not looking good there, but I can't see Wolves winning this one just because of how inconsistent they've been recently. So 1-1.
Interesting. So that concludes our predictions for week 28 of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description if you'd like to play along at home and continue to play along at home. Then make sure you copy and paste the template into your comment, and like Footy Chats last week, you could get a shout out in the next video if you are the top scorer. Also on Friday evening, hopefully it's going to be early, I'm going to be drawing somebody at random to represent you guys, the viewers. Last week of course it was Farah 77. Nap of the week, Nathan, what's your most likely prediction this week?
You know, I'm going to say Crystal Palace West Brom.
I was thinking that, but I'm going to go for the easy one. Man City to win away against Fulham.
Interesting.
Before we go as well, Nathan, have we got any live streams coming up?
Yeah, streaming on Saturday, Cardiff City versus Watford. That's on, I believe, at 3 o'clock. And then next week, Cardiff City Stoke, I believe it's on Tuesday or Wednesday.
It is, and it's at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7 o'clock kickoff. Make sure you're there, guys. Link in description below.
Thank you, Nathan, once again for joining me on another predictions video. Thank you all for tuning in as well. Make sure you like, comment, and especially subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any further predictions video. I'd like to say thank you once again to Mr. Lovesy for giving us the on-air sign there once again. Cheers, Ian. But for now, is there anything else?
Yeah, bid you farewell, that's it.
Yeah, no, nothing else to add?
Nothing else, I don't think.
Okay, good luck in your Premier League predictions, but for now we'll bid you farewell and we'll see you all in the next video.